You don't struggle with love. You struggle with control. And this is exactly why people can manipulate you without you even realizing it. You call it connection. You call it attachment. But what you're actually experiencing is a pattern that slowly reshapes you. And the worst part? You cooperate with it. You answer faster than you want to. You soften your tone before tension even appears. You adjust yourself before anyone asks you to. And you tell yourself, it's normal. It isn't. It's what happens when you grow up without love. Because when love is missing early, your brain doesn't just feel the absence. It builds a system designed to prevent loss at all costs. You learned how to read people before they spoke. You learned how to feel shifts before they happened. You learned how to stay even when something felt wrong, not consciously, but precisely. And this is where it gets dangerous, because those patterns didn't stay in your childhood. They became you. They followed you into your friendships, your relationships, your everyday interactions. Now look at how you move. You send a message, and the moment it's delivered, something inside you tightens. You don't just wait. You monitor. You check your phone again and again and again. You tell yourself it's nothing, but your mind is already running scenarios. Did I say too much? Did I sound weird? Why aren't they answering? Minutes pass. Then you see they're online. And suddenly, it's not just silence anymore. It's rejection. And here's what you don't notice. Nothing actually happened, but your brain filled in the gap because it was trained to. When you grow up without consistent love, silence doesn't feel neutral. It feels like something is about to break, so you react. Maybe you send another message casually. Maybe you pretend you don't care, but you keep checking. Maybe you withdraw completely, just to protect yourself. Different reactions, same pattern. And this is where it gets even more dangerous. Because while you're stuck inside your head, someone else is learning you. They notice how quickly you respond. They notice how your energy shifts when they pull back. They notice how you try to stabilize things when something feels off. And they don't need to think about it deeply. Humans read patterns instinctively, so they adjust. They delay their replies and watch you lean in. They become inconsistent and watch you try harder. They create just enough uncertainty to keep you engaged. Not always intentionally, but effectively. Because control doesn't always look like domination. Sometimes it looks like silence. And it works on you because you've been trained to chase stability. And it doesn't stop there, because the more you adapt, the less you feel what's real. You sit in conversations where something feels off. You notice a tone shift, a shorter reply, a slight coldness, and your body reacts immediately. Tension, alertness, focus. But instead of asking, why does this feel wrong? You ask, how do I fix this? That's the trap. That's where you lose yourself. You stop being someone who experiences reality and become someone who manages it. And your mind tells you this is strength. You're emotionally intelligent, you're aware, you understand people. No, you're compensating, you're predicting behavior, so you don't get hurt. And here's the part you still don't see. Your mind is protecting you, but it's also lying to you. It tells you you're choosing this, that you're just being careful, that you're just trying to make things work. But you're not choosing, you're repeating. And this is where it gets dangerous again. Because repetition creates identity. At first, it's just something you do. Then it becomes how you handle relationships. Then it becomes who you are. You become the understanding one, the calm one, the one who doesn't overreact. But look closer. You're not calm. You're controlled. You're not understanding. You're suppressing. You're not low maintenance. You've just learned to need less, so people don't leave. And once that becomes your identity, people treat it as your standard. They expect you to be okay. They expect you to adapt. They expect you to stay. And you do, even when something inside you is quietly breaking. And it doesn't stop there, because even outside relationships, this pattern follows you. You walk into a room and instantly scan it. Who feels distant? Who feels open? Where do you fit? You adjust your posture, your tone, your energy, not to express yourself, but to match what feels safest. And it happens fast. So fast you don't even notice it anymore. That's how deep the pattern goes. It's automatic. And here's where the second layer of danger appears. Because the more predictable you are, the easier you are to control. If someone knows you won't speak up, they push. If someone knows you fear distance, they create it. If someone knows you'll stay, they stop trying. And you feel it. You feel when effort disappears. You feel when attention drops. You feel when something shifts. But instead of pulling back, you lean in. You give more. You become softer, more patient, more understanding. And you call it love. It isn't. It's positioning. And you're placing yourself below them without realizing it, because your behavior communicates something very clearly. I won't leave, even if this costs me. And once someone understands that, they don't need to earn your presence anymore. They expect it. And this is where it gets dangerous, because now you're not just in the pattern, you're maintaining it. You stay in conversations that drain you. You replay moments in your head late at night. You think about things you should have said, things you shouldn't have said, things you wish you could take back. You imagine different versions of the same interaction. And in every version, you're trying to fix something. But here's the truth. Nothing was broken in the moment. The pattern is, and your mind won't let you see that easily. Because breaking the pattern means facing something uncomfortable. You accepted less because it felt familiar, not because it was right. And familiarity feels safe, even when it slowly erases you. And it doesn't stop there. Because at some point, this stops being behavior. It becomes identity. You don't just act this way. You believe this is who you are. I'm just someone who cares deeply. I'm just someone who gives a lot. I'm just someone who understands people. But underneath that, there's something else. A quiet fear. If I stop being this, will anyone stay? That's the real question driving everything. Not love, not connection. Fear. And this is where everything shifts. The moment you stop reacting the way people expect. The moment you don't send the second message. The moment you don't explain your silence. The moment you don't rush to fix the tension. Something changes. At first, it feels wrong, unnatural, like you're doing something bad, because your system is built on maintaining connection, not testing it. But when you hold that position, you start seeing clearly who reaches out and who disappears, who respects your space and who only valued your effort, who was actually there and who was just responding to your availability. And this is where it gets uncomfortable, because some people won't adjust, they'll fade, they'll pull away, they'll stop showing up, and it will feel like loss. But it isn't. It's exposure. You're finally seeing the dynamic without distortion, without chasing, without compensating, without trying to hold everything together. Because now you recognize the pattern everywhere, in conversations, in relationships, in yourself. You see how easily you were readable, how easily you were predictable, how easily you were controlled. Not because you're weak, but because you were trained to survive without love. And that training never left. And the most dangerous part, you'll still feel the urge to go back, to respond, to fix, to explain, to hold on, because it feels familiar, because it feels like connection, because it feels like love. But it isn't. It's control. And the only reason it still works on you is because a part of you still believes you have to become less just to be chosen.